worship with us this morning. And if you've been with us for the last couple months, you know we've been in this teaching series that John's going to continue and that I'll conclude next Sunday. It's a series called The Questions Jesus Asks. We've noticed that Jesus is constantly asking questions as a way to engage people, to draw them into a relationship with him. And one of the things we've said throughout this series is we've said we want to learn from Jesus' example. We want to get better at being people who can ask thoughtful questions and who can love people by listening to their answers. We know that all of us need to be heard. All of us need somebody that can listen to us, that can help us sort through what we're feeling and what we're thinking. And we've said we want to get better at being people who can ask thoughtful questions and really listen to people's responses and answers. And so as a step towards that, as a way to kind of put that into practice, we're going to be rolling out this pilot program. Starting in the middle of May. It's a pilot program that we're going to call Discipleship Conversations. I was talking to a guy in our new member class recently who shared with me, he said, I've got lots of friends who are Christians. He says, when we get together, we talk about sports, we talk about kids, we talk about work, but rarely do we ever talk about Jesus. Do we talk about what it means for us to be seeking to follow Jesus in these various different areas of our lives? We don't have a lot of spiritual conversations. You know, Barna did a study. They found that even Christians would say they have fewer than 10 spiritual conversations per year. And so the idea behind this is to say, what if we could pair up people within our church together to have these conversations? A discipleship conversation is just two people getting together to talk about what does it look like to follow Jesus in your life. It's not mentoring. It's not coaching. It's not counseling. It's not a Bible study. It's not a book study. You may be at different places in your walk with Jesus. Maybe you'd say, I'm not fully convinced that I want to follow Jesus. I'm still exploring that. Maybe you'd say, I've been following Jesus for decades. But the idea is that we'll get together and we'll have conversation. And we'll provide some good questions that you can ask each other to be able to talk about what does it look like to follow Jesus in your life. And so the way that we'll approach this is we'll say basically, will you commit for 6 months to meet with somebody once a month for no more than 1 hour? We know that we've got busy schedules, so you're just committing to say we're going to meet for less than an hour once a month over the course of 6 months. We'll run this from May until October. And the way that we'll pair people up together is we'll try to pair you with somebody of the same gender from a different community group, so you're meeting somebody else in the church, somebody who is maybe a little bit of a different age, so you're bringing life experience, different experiences to the table in that conversation. And look, we cannot promise that you're going to love the person that you are paired with. This is not eHarmony for church discipleship. There's no 95% match goal. Maybe you love the person, maybe you don't. It's okay if you don't. But we think that even if you don't, there's value in sticking with the commitment. Learning to love somebody that you don't have a ton of chemistry with, knowing that at the end of 6 months, it's over, right? There's no commitment to continue. If you want to continue, you can, but we want both people to go into the relationship knowing that at the end of 6 months, you can choose to move on. Maybe you want to get to know somebody else. Maybe you want to step back for a season. All of that is okay. But we do want to make sure that everybody goes into it really clear about what we're trying to do, what this is and what it's not. And so if you want to participate in this program, we're asking that you would come to one of our trainings, just 30 minutes, a training on what this looks like. We're going to do a training after worship on Sunday, the 23rd of April. We'll do it again on Sunday, the 30th. And if those times don't work for you, we'll do a training on Zoom on Thursday, April 27th at 7:30 p.m. And so we'd ask that you'd come to one of those trainings and then that you would sign up. And I'm going to send out a brief interest form, sign-up form. You'll get an email that I'll send out tomorrow if you want more information, you're interested in signing up to be a part of this. But our hope and our prayer is that this would be kind of a next step for our congregation. This would be a way that we are learning both what it means more in our lives to really follow Jesus, but also learning how to help somebody else in their journey with Jesus. We are disciples who make disciples. And so we really hope that this kind of becomes a part of the DNA and the culture of our church. So be on the lookout for that email if you're on our email list tomorrow, or sign up to be on our email list through our Connect card.